Hey there! 2 weeks ago, I showed you how to use Google Sheets as a content management system for your Alexa skills and Google Actions built with Jovo. And so what we did is we created a new Google Sheet. We added it to our Jovo i18n template, which you can find here. So this is the logic here and how you can access those keys. And then there's also some configuration like which sheet spreadsheet ID to use and which sheet types and so on. And I want to introduce you to a new feature today that we added a couple of weeks ago, which is called platform-specific responses. And you can find more about it in our Google Sheets CMS docs by clicking here. And so platform-specific responses are especially helpful when there's content that's different across different platforms. So for example, very often a project starts with either of one of those platforms. So very often it's an Alexa skill first and then gets added to Google Assistant later. So many Alexa skills start with "Welcome to the Hello World Alexa skill," for example. And we can test that out. So if I now go to the terminal and type in Jovo run, open it in the debugger and click on launch, it says welcome to the Hello World Alexa skill. What's your name? And what if I now want to launch this app also on Google Assistant? So what we could do, for example, is we could add another element to the sheet. We could do something like welcome.speech Google or something like that, and then do welcome to the Hello World Google action. The problem there is that I would need to go into the code and do something like this. If this is Alexa skill, this is how you can determine if it's an Alexa skill or Google action, and then do something like add the Alexa speech element, and then if it's a Google action, add the Google speech element, and so on. As you can see here, that adds a lot of stuff to your code, which isn't really necessary. And so for each update where you only want to do maybe some small tweaks for some platforms, you have to update the code, add some kind of ugly if-else elements and so on, and then redeploy it, which takes a lot of time and is error prone. And so what we offered for platform-specific responses is that you can create a new column with the same locale, for example, and then just add dash and then the platform app type. For example, it would be Google Action or Alexa skill. And so this type just overrides a speech element if this is there. And so I can just add this. And so if it's anything else than a Google action, then it would take this one as the default language, for example. And then if I have a Google action, it would add this. And you can find more here. So, and then there's other things, for example, if this is empty, as I said, then it just uses this one. But if I don't want to say anything, just want to respond with nothing, then I could just use this, for example, just a slash. And okay, and so let's try this out. Let's see. So if I now do Jovo run again and open it in my debugger again and click launch, then it still says welcome to the Hello World Alexa skill. And what you can see here next to the request buttons thing, where you can configure your buttons to show up here, there's also the request type in the locale. And so, for example, right now it's Alexa, but I can also choose Google Assistant, for example, and then send the launch request again. And it works. And so for Google Action requests, it says welcome to the Hello World Google Action, and for Alexa it says welcome to the Hello World Alexa skill. And that's it. And that's how you can easily add platform-specific responses to your Google Sheets, but also to your Airtable tables when you're using the Jovo framework. See you next week.